What Henry's law say? He was saying solubility of gas, the solubility of gas in a liquid is directly proportional to pressure, is directly proportional to pressure of gas over the solution. So one thing we know that if pressure increase, solubility increase. If pressure decrease, solubility decrease. Means you have one glass of water here. You have to add the gas molecule here. If you increase the pressure, if you are supplying some pressure here, if it is a piston here, I can say if you are supplying some pressure, what would happen? Solubility of gas will be increased. So how we can mathematically express M is directly proportional to P, where P is nothing but P is pressure, where M is mass of gas it is mass of gas, more will be pressure, more mass of gas will be dissolved into the liquid. Clear? This is a Henry's law. So nobody asked question from this. What they ask? Let me tell you. The limitations of Henry's law. Then majorly they ask question from the examples, the limitations of Henry's law. What are the limitations of Henry's law? So Henry's law is only applicable. It is only applicable when pressure is not too much high, when temperature is not too much low. It is very important point. Limitation of Henry's law means it was saying the Henry's law is only applicable when temperature is not too much low or pressure is not too much high. Number 3, the gases should be non-reacting in nature. Yes, the mass of gas dissolved into the liquid. So if we have different number of gases, for that what we can use? So what question they ask? They will give you one reaction NH4 plus H2O, NH3 plus H2O. What would be the reaction? What it will be formed? The reaction of ammonia with water. What would be product? What is ammonia? It will form NH4OH. So does this Henry's law applicable to this? Ammonia is gas only. Understood? Ammonia gas you are adding into the water. Does it is applicable to this? No. Why not? Because there is some chemical reaction. Henry law is only applicable when gases should not be reacting in nature. This is reacting in nature. Applications of Henry's law. Do you know any application? Where Henry's law is applied. Cold drinks, yes. It's very correct. Soft drink bottles, in my notes also it is mentioned in soft drink bottles are sealed with high pressure to increase the solubility of CO2 in the soft drinks. Number one, it is in the soft drinks. If we increase the pressure, more will be the CO2 will be dissolved into your water. Now next is, you might be heard about that disease anoxia. Have you heard this or not? What is anoxia disease? Okay, when we move to the high, okay, let me give you another example. Yes, when we move to some hilly area or some high altitude, so then what would happen? Why it is difficult to go to the Himalaya? Why it is very challenging in India? People are saying, they posting photos. Yes, we cover the Himalayan and all, because oxygen is percentages of oxygen is less. What less there actually? Pressure. So pressure in that area is very low. So if pressure is low, what happen? The oxygen, what we need to inhale oxygen, we have to need, and oxygen has to dissolve into the blood. So oxygen has to dissolve into the blood. Then what happen? If pressure is reduced, so what happen? The hemoglobin will react with very few amount of oxygen. It is not easily dissolve oxygen into the blood. So if it is not dissolved, that is why we are feeling nausea. Understood? Second example, there is also in your NCRT also it is mentioned that scuba diver, what happen in that case? Pressure is in if you go down to the sea, what happen? Pressure increase or decrease? Pressure is very high. If pressure is very high, so much amount of oxygen dissolve into your body. When you comes out from the water, what happen? Pressure immediately reduce. So immediately oxygen comes out from the body. It feels pain. Clear? So these are the three major examples or application. At high altitude, the partial pressure of oxygen is low. So in case of scuba diver, as we go deep into the sea, solubility of O2 is increased. Clear? So now basically they asked a question from this one also, Henry's law. What is Henry's law once again? What is Henry's law? Mass dissolved into gas is directly proportional to pressure. So if it is only one gas, then this formula is applicable. If there is two or three gases, so what we can do? Then we are assuming the mole fraction of gas is directly proportional to the pressure supply. Clear? So directly proportional sign we can remove by some constant Kp. Pressure we can use capital P also. This is written as K by 1 by Kp. This way also we can write. So 1 by K is nothing but this is a Kh. This is called as Henry's constant. So many questions they ask on the basis of Henry constant. So this is, I can write down H Kh is equals to P. This is important.